What up guys, Guidom here. Today we're going to be looking at how to migrate Jigsaw inventory to your other project. So the first thing, the first step would be to actually create the project. So you want to go to your Epic launcher, then library, and then in your vault, just look for Jigsaw. And this is, you'll find here, you want to click on create project. And here you want to select your engine version that you prefer and the folder and then create the project. So that will create a project. So you want to open that. Once you have the project open, feel free to go into the demo folder here and open the MP Refined and check out the demo map, or go into the lobby and check out the lobby system. Um, so here the question is, do you want to migrate the entire project to your other project, or you're only interested in the main system? Maybe you're following the tutorial where how to create a system from scratch. So in that case, you probably only need the Jigsaw folder. So you can right click here, Jigsaw, and click migrate, and that will only take the Jigsaw folder. And we'll see that in a second. So in here, I have my other project here. It's just a vehicle template example. And we're going to start by migrating the entire project and see how that's done. So the easiest way, the one I prefer, so you can, you can like right click on JS inventory and do migrate. That will work just fine. But also, I just prefer to just do it manually. So if you right click on content folder here and then select show and explorer, that will bring up the location of the project. So right here we have the content folder, and so we're interested in this JS inventory, which is our main folder. Same thing we can do on the other project. We could do right click on content, show and explorer, and then go back here, vehicle project, so content. So basically what I want to do here is I simply want to go back to my content and simply right click, copy, or control S or control C, and then simply copy that into the other content folder of the vehicle project. So control V, and that will take the project. This is easier in my opinion and straightforward because migrating from the engine, for some reason in 5, in real 5, there is trying to do more than it has to. And yeah, but if you prefer that, you can just right click on right here, migrate, then select the again, here it's gathering dependencies, but still, we're migrating everything. Like there's really no need to gather any dependencies because we are taking everything, so you might as well just copy it. Right here, you can click OK, and then you want to select the content folder of the vehicle too, which is going to be the same thing anyway. So now that we copied everything, we're going to back to the vehicle here. So a couple things we need to do. First of all, we're going to check our plugins. Again, if I go to content, here's our folder right here. But before we use that, we are going to check out a couple of plugins here. So first of all, we're going to make sure that enhanced input is used. So I'm going to make sure that's enabled. Depending on your Unreal version, it might be enabled already. But we use enhanced movement input. Again, if you don't really need enhanced movement inputs, you don't need to enable it. It's not a core feature of the system. We just use it for the demo map. But if you have your own input system, then feel free to use that instead. Then, of course, the gameplay tag. The gameplay tags, which again, I think it should be enabled by default. So right there. And then you want to go to project settings. So again, it's an edit here, project settings. And then on the left side, we're going to look for gameplay tags right here. And what you want to do here is you want to simply load the gameplay tags from a data table. So right here, gameplay tag table list. And we're going to go ahead and select the DT jig tags. And that should load our gameplay tags for the Jigsaw system. And finally, in the project settings, we want to go to the asset manager. And right here, we want to add a new primary data type. So if I go back to my Jigsaw folder here and just go to project settings. So when working with data assets, you have to indicate them in the asset manager. So right here, asset manager, by default, we have two things. We have the map and the primary asset label. This is by default. And then a third value right here, which is the Jigsaw, and we're indicating our Jigsaw item data asset and where it can be found. So again, you can simply copy this entry or copy these informations. Make sure that has blueprint classes is true. Then we indicate our Jigsaw item data asset has blueprint true, and of course the directory here. So we're going to do the same thing here, back to our vehicle project here, and we can simply click on add new, and then simply right click and paste. And that should take the Jigsaw item data asset right there, Jigsaw name, and of course has blueprint is true, and then the directory. And that should be pretty much, and of course the cook rule, make sure that it's always cook right here. So we're going to be able to use those data assets in our packaged game. And that's pretty much it. So we're going to go ahead and restart our project because we enabled the enhanced input plugin, and we will check if everything is working as intended. So I'm going to go ahead and restart this project. Here we go. Our project is open, and we can go ahead and check our enhanced inputs once again. This depends on if you want to use them or not. Right here in project settings input, we can, so this project uses the old input system, but we can change that by simply changing the um, method here, or whatever we're trying to use here, which is enhanced inputs, and then enhanced input component. This should allow us to use our enhanced input system. And now finally you want to go to the game instance, and this of course depends on if you want to use the lobby system. It's not super important, but this just makes it so we know whether we started the game from the lobby. In that case, it will load a save when we load in the main map. If we're simply testing in the main map, then we don't load a save. It just makes it easier to test. But if you want to, you can set the game instance of your project to be the Jig game instance. Now, mainly, if you already have your own game instance, you can simply implement the interface right here called BPI lobby, and you simply want to implement these two events right here. So from lobby, and then right here, you simply return that lobby. And that's pretty much it. So first thing I'm going to do here is we're going to open our demo map, which is the refined MP refined. And if everything goes well, then we migrated successfully. Then let's go ahead and give it a try. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play, and seems everything is working as intended. No errors, nothing, and we can go ahead and loot stuff. And yeah, everything seems to be functional right there. Yeah, so we end the play, no errors, nothing, so everything seems to be working as intended. So the main thing we did, again, just as a summary, is like, for me personally, I prefer just copying manually. Just right click, copy, take the folder to the other project. Pretty straightforward. That can be done even while the both projects are open, which is fine. Once you copy the project, you then go to the gameplay tags section and the project settings. You indicate the gameplay tags right here. So you want to just indicate the data table so the gameplay tags are loaded. And then in your inputs, you want to make sure you're using the enhanced input system. Of course, if you prefer that, and obviously make sure you enable the plugin, and then set the game instance as the Jigsaw game instance, or implement the interface. Unless you don't care about the lobby system, in that case you don't have to. But yeah, so it should kind of be the same thing for the other. If you really only need the Jigsaw folder, so I can go back here into my vehicle project right here, and I can simply, if I just close yeah, I just close that project. Let's just do it again. So I'll just delete manually the JS inventory. And once again, um, if you only need the Jigsaw, like I think that you can also still do it just manually. Like you could just copy this folder manually and you should have no issues. But the standard way would be to simply right click and do migrate, and that should only take the Jigsaw folder. If you notice it taking anything extra other than Jigsaw folder, you probably on an older version. So what you want to do here is you simply want to open the, you want to simply migrate without the utility helper, because the utility helper is referencing some data assets from the demo folder, and also it might have a cast to the main inventory. But in the new version, the latest one, it doesn't do that. It grabs the data asset from the asset manager. So it shouldn't be doing any references to the demo folder. And as a result, if you just right click and migrate, it will only take the Jigsaw folder, which is all you need to make your own system from scratch following the tutorial. So then we select the content folder of your other project, and then we select there. And as you can see, that was pretty much instantaneous. So content migration completed successfully, and then we can go back to our project here, to the vehicle, and then we open it up right there. And it should be the same thing. Basically, what we just did, you simply indicate the data, the gameplay tags. Again, you want to double check your plugins are enabled, enhance the movement inputs, and gameplay tags. And of course, our gameplay tags right here, you want to go to gameplay tags and simply indicate you want to indicate your data table right here. So it should be pretty much the same process. Data table, enhance inputs, game instance, and that's it. You should be good to go here. Again, because we did that, I'm gonna double check the game instance right there. Make sure it's so. In this case, actually, you don't need a game instance because we didn't take that. Because again, that's just the demo map, like the lobby system, the refined map. Those are just demo things you can just check out. But yeah, that's why we don't get the game instance because it's not part of the main core system. So you don't really need. The only thing you really need here is the gameplay tags basically. But yeah, you can get on with the tutorial. You can right click, create a new widget, and you can access the Jigsaw um, containers like that, and you can just get started. Should all be working just as intended. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Till then, thank you for watching, and catch you in the next one. Peace.